Welcome back into the Barbershop live stream. We want to welcome everybody back into the live stream, everybody on Periscope, on Twitter. Shout out to you guys, everybody that's watching on Facebook. We salute you. Thank you for being a part of the live stream. Everybody on YouTube, of course, welcome on in. Barbershop subscribers and everybody watching on Twitch as well. Welcome. Come on in. Welcome to the Barbershop live stream. Got a great show for you today, and we are welcoming everybody in. We got a new feature that we're really excited about bringing in. We're really excited about having this feature coming up today. We got the super chat. We got the super chat. If you want to be a part of the super chat, be a part of that Barbershop chair club. You know what I mean? Get that fresh fade. We got the super chat enabled. Those are for the YouTube users, so you can get that together and be a part of the super chat. So we do appreciate that as well. Great show coming up for you guys today. We're going to be here with you guys from about a little bit past 8 o'clock. We'll try to do an hour tonight. And we got a lot of stuff to get to. We got a lot of stuff to get to with this live stream. When we look at this, we've unpacked the Ravens game, but if you know me, I'm all about moving forward. I'm all about moving forward. You talk about where you've been, it's about where you're going. And I like to start with the opening monologue. And when we talk about the opening monologue, we want to set the tone and talk about where we go from here. And with it being election season, with it being everybody talking about elections and all kind of good stuff, elections have consequences. We've heard that for about the last 8 years. And when you talk about election has consequences, losses have consequences as well. Losses and elections have consequences. And so when you look at the Ravens game, it's not so much of a loss that you can't get over. And I think the Browns have had a good year. I think the Browns have had a great year. But one of the things they can't get lost in this is that in the sport of football, and why people love the sport of football so much is because football is so competitive and it's any given Sunday. And I know that sounds like a cliche, but and just like every election, every vote counts. Every single time, everyone needs to be counted. Everything counts. And in football, every one of these 16 games counts. And the Browns are 9-4 currently going into this Sunday night football matchup against the Giants. And people may look at the Giants and may think that the Giants are a team that you're going to be able to come in and roll over and the Browns should win this game. However, not so fast. When you look at what the Giants have done and what the Giants have been over the last, let's say, month or so, it's not about what we talking about, what they've been as their record-wise, as what their record is. It's about what they're going to be. It's what they are right now. Giants won 4 out of 5. And this team is playing good football right now. And so for people to say that the Browns are going to just come in here, go to New York, get these wins, and punch their ticket to the playoffs, that's not what this is about. Remember, elections have consequences. Losses in the National Football League have consequences as well. So when you look at this game is a game that the Cleveland Browns must win. It is no ifs, ands, buts about this. No ifs, ands, buts about this. The Cleveland Browns must come in and get a win and do it and get it decisively. Any way they can get this win. Because when you look at it, this game counts so much for playoff implications. You know, there's a scenario out there, and we'll go over this a little bit later. There's a scenario in which the Cleveland Browns can end up with an 11-5 record. An 11-5 record. And if the Cleveland Browns end up an 11-5 record, and that's a 4-way tie with the Ravens, with the Titans, with the Colts, and with the Dolphins, the Cleveland Browns do not get to go to the playoffs. They're left out of that scenario because of the tiebreakers and the way the NFL puts on division winners. So when you look at that, the Browns would be left out with an 11-5 record. And we talk so much about We talk so much about getting 10 wins, 11 wins, getting 11 wins and being able to be back in the playoff hunt. And the Browns, once they were beating teams, and it seems like they were rolling, and we talked about the Browns being in the playoffs as it was almost a foregone conclusion. And when I say elections have consequences, losses in the NFL have consequences. Because now the Baltimore Ravens control their own destiny, and they have one of the weakest schedules coming up. The Baltimore Ravens look like they will probably, given their schedule coming up, win out. So you could put them at 11-5. They control their own destiny. They have both tiebreakers over the Cleveland Browns, beating them 2 times in their division. That's why when I speak with so much gravity after that game, I wasn't speaking in terms of, was I not proud of the Cleveland Browns, or did I not see the growth and progression in Baker Mayfield, or did I not see the offense progress, or did I think Kevin Stefanski called a great game? No, I thought all the above, letter D. I saw all of that. But I also understood elections have consequences. And you can go and you can play a great game. You can go and play awesome games. But in the words of the great Jay-Z, finish your food, finish your breakfast. You know, we have not done anything. You ain't done enough yet. We ain't home. We had a nice start, 9-4. We ain't home yet. We ain't home yet. We are where we want to be. We're in position to be where we want to be. But to get where you want to go, you got to do something you've never done before. To get where you want to go, you got to beat some people you ain't never beat before. And right now, we still haven't beat the Baltimore Ravens. And it looks like you're going to have to go down the stretch and you're going to have to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because here's the thing. We've almost thought that we've chalked a loss up to the Steelers. Say, well, if we go 2-1 down the stretch, we'll get in. That's not necessarily the truth. That's not necessarily the truth, boys and girls. Don't feel so good for yourself so fast. Because in this scenario that's out there, if all 4 teams go 11-5, the Cleveland Browns do not go to the playoffs. I repeat, the Dolphins 11-5, Titans 11-5, Colts 11-5, Browns 11-5. In that scenario, and the Ravens 11-5, guess who's out? Cleveland Browns. Am I saying that's likely? There's a chance. Out of that likely scenario, the team who has the strongest or the weakest path to get there, the team who has the weakest path to get there, or the worst chance of getting there, is the Miami Dolphins. They have a very tough road. They got some games where they got to play some teams, and it doesn't look like they're going to get there. But it's all, by all intents and purposes, I can foresee, looking at that schedule, the Titans can go 11-5. The Colts can go 11-5. And the Ravens, I fully, wholeheartedly suggest that the Ravens will be going 11-5. So when I open up, I don't open up the show today on I don't open up the show talking about scenarios where the Browns don't get into the playoffs. I don't open that up with scenarios and crazy scenarios in which we start opening up mathematical algorithms and equations in which we pull and carry the one, and I got an abacus over here and Pythagoras theorem, and a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which means we don't go to the playoffs and the team leaves. I'm not trying to open that up right now. All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is this. The Cleveland Browns, the playoffs, like I said before, the playoffs started 2-3 weeks ago. Keep winning. You did a good job against the Tennessee Titans, and you didn't finish your food against the Ravens. Now, as a young team, that may not cost you. It may not cost you. Let's put that to bed, and you still got an opportunity. Everything's in front of you. If the Cleveland Browns win out, we control our own destiny. If the Cleveland Browns win out, let's get that through our heads. We control our own destiny. But in controlling our own destiny, we got to go out here and we got to talk about these Giants. New York Giants, and that's where it leads us. New York Giants, Cleveland Browns preview. I want to welcome everybody on in. Shout out to everybody once again on Facebook, live on Facebook, on Twitch, on Periscope, on Twitter. That's on all the guys, all the individuals on YouTube. We will get to all of the super chats. If you want to get a super chat, please go ahead and do so. We will read your comments. We will get to those as well. We will get to your comments, and we will read some of your comments too. And I want to throw out that we will at 7:30. At 7:30, we will take some of your questions. If you do have any questions about the game coming up or any questions in general, just go ahead and put at G Bush, right? At G Bush. Put it in the comment section. I'll see all the comments. Put at G Bush, and then we'll go ahead and take your comments at 7:30, and we will do that. And we'll take those rapid fire. We'll do that at 7:30 once again, and we will take any super chats that come in. We'll take those first, and we'll read those as those come in. Let's get to this game. Preview this. Giants. When you're looking at the Giants, this is a team who's won 4 out of 5. Coming in, and first starts with the inactives. Daniel Davy Jones. Daniel Jones is questionable for this game. This is important because the Browns have had trouble really working to stop mobile quarterbacks, right? And I was just on the radio today. I did the morning show with Anthony Lima. Shout out to Ken Carmen. I filled in for Ken Carmen in the morning today on 92.3 The Fan. And we talked about it. And when I came on and did the post-game show, I was hot. And a lot of people saw me hot. I was hot because I was I didn't like the game plan Joe Woods had. It was terrible. And people, added me when they talked about it, and there was stats that came. Jeremiah Trotter came out with the stats, said, listen, 70% of the time, the Browns were in man-to-man coverage. And that is a no-no when you're playing against mobile quarterbacks, especially quarterbacks that like to run and scramble, because when their backs are turned, guess what the quarterback's doing? He's taking off his scramble drills. Easy. The backs are turned. DBs are running in coverage. And one of the things that, Lamar Jackson has struggled with this year is throwing the football into coverage, making him make decisions, bringing blitzes and packages from other places, spying him a little bit. Joe Woods, we had sound and he said that was on him. He didn't like the game plan. Didn't like it at all. So he didn't like the game plan. So, Daniel Jones, one of the things that he does well is he's a mobile guy. He moves around, shakes a little bit. I call him White Lightning. He can move. He's a mobile dude. I didn't see him run away from a couple cats this year. He is questionable today for the game next week. And one of the things, lot of old names and new places. We got your boy, Freddie Kitchens. Freddie cooking in the kitchens has returned, and he is calling the plays Sunday because of COVID-19. And Jason Garrett is going to be out for this game, who's the coordinator for the Giants. And the storylines for the Browns just write themselves, don't it? No, so it seems like the storylines just write themselves. They write themselves for these guys, right? And guess what? If your boy Danny Boy don't play, we get an opportunity to see Colt McCoy ride into town on that steed. You got Colt McCoy, and you got Freddie cooking in the kitchens calling the plays. These storylines write themselves. Are you serious? Are you serious? These storylines is writing themselves. So the first thing we're going to get to is this. Under no way, shape, or form. I repeat. Let me get back and get comfortable. They get close and intimate. Under no way, shape, form, or idea do you let Freddie Kitchens come out here and get any sort of redemption. You do not let him come out here and get these trick plays off. You do not let him get loose out here. You do not let him say he's calling the game of his life. I don't want none of these commentators talking about, well, it looks like Freddie's getting a little revenge on the Cleveland guys. No. I mean, the Colt McCoy montage is going to be rolling. Remember this guy? Remember these? No. Get on these boys early and often and get them down. That same offensive prowess that Baker and them was coming out with, that intensity, that fire, that zing, that passion for the game that we was playing at the end of the Ravens game, we need every bit of that right now against the Giants. They cannot afford to come out and let the Giants get comfortable and feel like they got an opportunity in this game. The Giants are a 500 team. But I'm going to tell you about 500 teams with nothing to play for. They're the most dangerous teams in the world. The most dangerous man is a man without no home or a family. You see a man without a family or a home in an alley, you might want to turn back the other way and go where you came from. And that man ain't got nothing to lose. Nothing. Men with families and things to lose don't hang out and go to the CIA, man. Shout out, salute to my man Mark Kahn, man, and salute to and appreciate the super chat. He says, I see the team and Stefanski playing pissed off the next 3 weeks, man. I definitely salute you and the barbershop and you one of the main guys getting that fade in the super chat. I appreciate you in the super chat, my G. Yeah, they playing angry. You got to play angry. Got to. It's the only way you got to play. That's part of the game plan. Get out here, get on them early and often. Second thing that we have to do. Hey, Derek Talbot, I appreciate the super chat, my G. Peer character holding his belly, laughing out loud. Hey, man, thank you, man. I appreciate the super chat, man. Hey, man, thanks for me being a part of the barbershop fan club, fade club, you know what I'm saying? VIP, get in the chair early. I appreciate that, my G. Also, man, get your at G Bushes ready. We'll take your comments at 7:30. At G Bush, you want some comments and questions, we'll do that at 7:30. Game plan. Second thing they have to do. I like what I see out of Baker, man. You know what I see out of Baker? I knew Baker was ready to play. I like what Baker was ready to do. I knew Baker was hot and ready like a $5 Little Caesar. When he ran that touchdown in against the Ravens, when he ran that ball in, how many of y'all out there? How many of y'all out there was like, oh, because you know Baker, he'll fake you. He'll pump fake you. He'll give you that little spurt at the end. Like, yeah, I was running, but I really wasn't, though. Like, Baker, listen, shout out to him. Like, when he ran that rock in, like, for that touchdown late in the game, I said, oh, Baker feeling himself, because that was some of the stuff that he was doing his rookie year. That was some of the stuff. You couldn't pigeonhole Baker. You couldn't pigeonhole Baker into what he was doing. You didn't know what Baker was going to do. Fullbacks was getting the ball, tight ends, anybody, he could pull the screens down, he could do whatever he wanted to do. Like, Baker was just all over the place. That mentality makes the Browns very, very, very dangerous. And he needs to come out with that mentality immediately against the Giants. Immediately. That's what he needs to do immediately. I do want to say something too. We do gotta talk about the Giants overall in terms of this. These dudes, By the way, shout out to William Wise. Shout out to thanks for the super chat, my G. He said it's all about peaking at the right time. That's one of the biggest facts in the world. Take a look at the Las Vegas Raiders. They was doing victory laps in week 5. The Las Vegas Raiders was doing victory laps. They peaked in week 5. William, you all over that. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs week 5. And then guess what? They came and beat the Browns in that weather game. It's all about it, man. It's all about peaking at the right time, peaking at the right levels, and getting everything set up and ready to go, man. Set up and ready to go. And then you can peak and you can hit your levels and hit it running. You don't want to hit it too fast because then guess what? You didn't hit you running out of momentum, you running out of steam, and that's not going to really work for you, man. Let's get to some of the comments in the comment section. Take some of the questions. I had a couple ones up here. Hit me at GBush91 if you got a couple questions. William Wise, he said, at GBush, the Browns have always failed against the running and mobile quarterbacks. Yes, that is true. I think one of the problems that the Browns do is they haven't come to the conclusion that you got to stop one thing. You got to stop one thing. You got to take what somebody's comfortable with away. You know, it's kind of like basketball. You can't give a guy the drive and the shot. If you're going to play Steph Curry, you got to say, Steph, you ain't going to just keep hitting dagger threes on me. Steph, you're going to have to go to the rack. If Steph Curry want to hit you with and kill you with layups all day, there it is, Steph. Congratulate him and shake his hand. But you can't give Steph 3 after 3 after 3 after 3, and then you still going to give him layups. Like, he's going to have 55 points, and then he's going to be on the free throw line, and he's going to kill you like that. The Browns got to learn to say, hey, Lamar Jackson, look, you going to beat us in the air? If you throw for 2 touchdowns and 342 and your completion percentage is above 68, 69, 70%, Lamar Jackson just killed you. You can't do nothing about that. But you're not going to you're not going to complete 6 passes and then still kill us for 600-700 yards, and on the ground. No. You got to take something away. Got to take something away. Got to, man. Lisa Nikki, what's up, man? Hey, don't use it all on the Steelers and the Giants because they have my Steelers again soon. Hey, listen. Yeah, shout out to the Steelers, man. I'll tell you what. I'm not too worried about the Steelers. I believe that the Steelers is falling off after they have this game. The Bengals give you anything you want. Right now, the Bengals is a team everybody get well against. The Bengals, and there's a stat. I watched the second Bengals game against the Browns, and I charted every throw. They made Baker Mayfield look to his second progression 4 times. So that means he got to his third step in his drop, 5 step in his drop, 7 step in his drop, and it was just there, ready to go. He was just, they didn't make him look to anything else but his first read. And anytime you do that, there's no way you can stop an NFL team. So the Bengals are terrible in defense. So if the Steelers struggle against them, yeah, I'll be worried about it then. So after that, we'll worry about that coming up, man. We'll see what we got there. Corey Robinson says the Steelers are falling off big time. William Wise says, at G. Bush, how do you like the way the staff has handled Baker? I'll tell you what. I think they've done probably one of the better jobs I've seen ever with a young quarterback because, Dave, you talked about peaking. They've progressed him during the season, and they've helped him to get to a point where now Baker is playing his best football at the same point, right? They're playing his best football right when it counts, right? So now they progressed him. At first they had the child brakes on him. They had the child locks on him. They had the training wheels on him. And a lot of people freaked out about that, including myself. I'm like, you can't be the number 1 pick and throwing the football 20 times. You can't do it. And Baker's mentality is that I need to, I'm that guy. And Stefanski understood. He got it. He understood, hey, bring him along, make sure he's hitting the right progressions, let him come along. You started to see against Cincinnati. You started to come along. You started to see some of them in those rainy, bad weather games, didn't turn the football over. Then you started to see in the Tennessee game, he's the reason you won those games. And then you see the comeback ability against the Ravens. I think they've done a great job. Stefanski, to me, is the coach of the year. I think he should get that. I think that's his award to me. We don't know if he might get it. Steelers had a great year. Ron Rivera's done a great job with Alex Smith. So we'll see how that might work. Moving along a little bit to going back to this Giants game, we'll talk about how important this game is in these next 3 games. Giants, Jets are 2 games that you can't afford to have a letdown. And I think 2 of the most important people that you talk about in this game are the offensive line and the running game. Teller's going to be out of this game. He has an ankle injury. He's going to be week to week. According to reports, week to week, Teller. And by the way, he's been the most dominant offensive lineman this year. Highest rated offensive lineman, period. Regardless of position. Highest rated offensive lineman, according to Pro Football Focus, is Teller. He's been dominant in the pool game. He's been dominant on the gap, zone plays. Some of the plays that he's pulling, knocking 2-3 guys, and I call him 2 for 1. He's a 2 for 1. He's a BOGO guy. Buy one, get one free. You get him out here moving in that run game, he's going to clean up one section. He's going to get to that next section. It's going to be a problem. William Wise, I appreciate you, man, big homie. You're going to get that VIP treatment. We're going to get you with the shave. We're going to get you with the beard and everything. He getting the face. Shout out to appreciate the super chat. That was my next question. Is Stefanski coach of the year? Definitely. That's easy money. That's easy money right there. He's coach of the year. In terms of what I like to say, he's the coach of the year. Yes. For my money, because he's showing you for one that we've heard that it takes 3 to 5 years to build an organization. We heard that you got to have OTAs and off seasons. We've heard that you got to have all of this stuff. We've heard that you got to have 3 to 5 years to build this. You got to have all the best offensive linemen. You got to have a weapon at receiver. You got to have, all of these things to have a fighting chance as a first-year head coach. He's come in and said, no, that's not necessarily true. I don't need the offseason. I know we got COVID. I know we got a quarterback that needs a little retooling. I know we got some chemistry issues, but guess what? He's come through and done all that. So he just goes to show you, how he's done that in a concise way. And I love his demeanor. I just like how he just moves. He just moves silently, just smooth, not too much, not an extra. I just like how he does it, man. So when you look at this team and this offensive line, one of the best in the business. But I'm just gonna say it. Are the Giants capable of beating the Browns? Yes. The Giants, are they anything to write off? The best corner is out. He's going to be out of the game. He's out of the game. The quarterback is 50-50 questionable. We all know Saquon Barkley's been out for the year. They don't really have a deep threat. Slayton is their deep threat but he's been nicked up an injury. He has a foot injury. Ingram is on the injury report. He's questionable. We have a guy we get the opportunity to see Peppers again. At least he won't be playing in the Muni lot. Old boy Williams had him playing in the Muni lot back in the day. I'm like, where Peppers at? Oh, he over in Lakewood. He playing over in he over there playing at University Hospital downtown. You're like, man, he don't like where he play at. He don't even be up on the football. So, but here's the thing. Can they come in and beat the Browns? Browns on the road. Can they play? If the Browns come in and play around, yes, they can get beat. Heck yeah, they can get beat. And by a lot. So this game is all about focus. The Cleveland Browns should come out here and get them off the books and get it done with. And get ready to go to the hotel, stay socially distanced, get some nice food, and get ready to do it again against another terrible team in the Jets. Over there, they had him in Edgewater Park. You're right. He was all way in them old ruins by Geauga Lake. Man, that boy Peppers wasn't doing nothing back then. I just would look for him in the stat sheet. I pulled the stat sheet up here. Hold on, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe he had a couple assists. Assists I missed over here. That boy Peppers, he looked good in Michigan. Oh, did he? Oh, he didn't really look good in Michigan. Oh, he returned a punt. One punt. He was a defensive player of the year with no stats. Did he cover anybody? He played outside, scat back, scat tackle, and why he a corner, but he got his hand in the dirt? What kind of corner put he in a 3-point stance as a corner? He just jammed the guy and let somebody else cover him? Boy, Boy, the Browns used to, that's a whole nother blog. The Browns used to have about 65 cats like that. Danny Shelton, ain't that one of the main characters from Lilo and Stitch? I think my granddaughter got one of them he got a little character from McDonald's. They put him in Happy Meal. Ain't that one of them little characters, the Hawaiians? Danny Shelton. Out there telling me about how strong his punch is. Danny Shelton ain't make no plays ever. Stop. I'm sorry. Y'all let me. I get beside myself a little bit. That 0-16 and 1-15 era. Whew, my gosh. Oh, boy, I tell you, man. I'm just, and for all y'all, you know how it be, man. I'm just like y'all. Me too, I'd say we've come a long way. And sometimes I get mad at these dudes. I be mad as hell. But no matter how mad I be, I can always calm myself down easy. And I could just go through the list of players, right? And I could just say names. And you can just say Carlton Mitchell. Carlton Mitchell? You be like, that man was on a roster. And they tried to sell us that he was going to be somebody. Like these guys, I was going to do a top 10. I was trying to do some top 10 stuff with some guy. Carlton Mitchell? My man William Wise, man, he's a VIP out here in the barbershop. Shout out again for the super chat, man. I really appreciate you. How much better do you think the secondary would have been if they all protected the starters, of all of the protected or projected starters, if I could read, were healthy? Listen, by the way, I want to give you a little update on Greedy too. How good they could have been. Denzel Ward is on his way back. It looked like he's going to play in this game, by the way. You got Denzel Ward. You have Greedy Williams. I wanted to see something for Greedy this year. Greedy Williams would have been projected starter. I think Delpit was going to be nasty. I'm telling you. I think Delpit was going to be one of the nastiest dudes. If you look at his tape from his junior year, he was the man. Listen, he was that dude. And you got him, and they got Harrison. So if you tell me I got Delpit, and I think Harrison is a ball player, he's just a China doll though. He China doll. He can't stay healthy. If you got Harrison, Delpit, Greedy, and Denzel Ward, Money Mitch at a nickel, Kevin Johnson spotting, that's ugly. That's ugly. That's super ugly. And I'm gonna tell you too. I'm gonna tell you too. We kind of getting out there. My man said Dupper would have helped a lot. No, definitely, and a lot. And I want to give a reprieve too. And I do this a lot, and I think radio dudes need to do this more a lot too. I think ain't no harm in fouling being like, yo, so-and-so balling. I think people do this a lot. You can clown somebody, but you can also come back and say, I've been given new information. I've been giving new information, and the new information that I've seen in my intel reports, right? The intel reports have shown me that some things have changed. And I'm gonna tell you what, I've been killing this dude for years since he been here. But I'm gonna put this in your chat. Type that 1 in for me if you feel. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel Olivier Vernon been balling. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's just me. Olivier Vernon. Shout out to my man Mark Kahn for the super chat. Baker's like the pump handle analogy. Before you get the water out the well, you have to prime and pump, putting something in once, and when you get ready and steady and pressure, you get all the water out you want. Right now, Baker is getting the water, bro. I ain't gonna lie on that. Shout out and salute to you, man. VIP, you get this Pressure Clipper Award. I appreciate you, my G. Hey, man, I see a lot of ones in here. A lot of ones. Vernon is a top 20 edge rusher on PFF this year. Hey, I'm going to give it up. See a lot of ones. Hey, salute Olivier Vernon. Because I'm going to tell you what. He was running around after Lamar Jackson like Ring Around the Rosie. He was doing him like this. Nope, I cut you off here. Nope, I cut you off here too. Nope, I'm over here. I'm like, you running around mirroring Lamar Jackson like that, Vernon? Is that you? Man, he was playing peekaboo with him like, it's me. I'm like, Vernon, he had a 3-sack game. He had the game where he had the safety that low-key won the game for the Browns. He had another sack, a couple other games. Listen, shout out to my man. I'm gonna go take this one at G Bush, my man Auto Cash. What a name, by the way. Auto Cash says Matt Wilson. On the other hand, you disrespected one of the greatest songs of all time. Once again, Return to the Mac was one of the greatest songs of all time, and I had you slated. I spot shadowed you in my X Factor for the pregame show. I tossed it to Jim Donovan and Doug Deacon, and I had your last names in my mouth before I send it over to Doug Deacon and Jim Donovan. And you embarrassed me. Bro, they caught you whiffing in the game. That's how you sound. That's the sound of you whiffing, bro. Matt Wilson, they not only caught you at the scene, but they got your fingerprints at the scene of the crime. They caught you on the bench looking crazy. It's like, maybe it's the knee. I don't know. Oh, my goodness, Matt Wilson. It's like you don't even be bringing your feet. Like, it be like your hamstrings give out on you. It's like you pull both hamstrings at the same time. Like they lock up on you. You don't even bring your hips. You know how your coach say, bring your hips when you do none of that. You bring your northern hemisphere and your southern hemisphere just be dragging like South America and the Cape of Good Hope and like Madagascar and stuff. Like, come on, bro. Bring your hips and drive through people. You be talking on that. Man, never mind. See, we was having a good conversation about Olivier Vernon. I saw all them ones up there. And then here you go. On the other side of the football, let's talk about a couple of inactives and roll this down. We'll do a little rapid fire here. Let's talk about a little inactives. Sendejo is, he unfortunately, the best safety. I can't. You funny. Russell Edwards says, but wasn't he beating up his teammate in camp? Yeah, he was knocking his teammates' helmets off in camp. He was so aggressive. He's the best linebacker we've ever seen in camp. Too bad he didn't bring any of that prowess to the season. My man William Wise says, Mac is the typical Alabama player. Seems like when he get to the league, they're done. Mark Barron, he's another one of those guys. It's rough. Sendejo is going to be out for the Cleveland Browns. Sheldrick Redwine is going to be starting for him. Chris Hubbard is going to be starting in the place of Teller. He's going to be starting at guard. He obviously was the starting right tackle last year, so we'll have him in that place. So we got those two guys out there playing. So those are going to be some guys that we got to move with, shake with a little bit. And those will be some people that we're gonna look to move around with. One thing that I want to really talk about a little bit. One time I really want to get into this really quickly. Did you see the Jarvis Landry situation with the Ravens? Allegedly, if you see the tape, you got, I don't know what's wrong with Marcus Peters. I mean, come on, man. Like, you see the tape, and Marcus Peters reportedly tries to spit on Jarvis Landry. Now look, man. I'm all for the trash talk, right? We didn't all play ball. We didn't all played and done some stuff, and we didn't all talk trash, and we didn't all said some crazy stuff on the field, and we didn't got into like little tussles and stuff, man. But come on, man. Like, we in the middle of a pandemic. Like, the league has implemented things that you got to put into place where you can't even not have a mask on the field, right? You see what I'm saying? You can't even not have a mask on. So for you to just spit on somebody or try to, first of all, is egregious. Second of all, is unsanitary. And third, y'all talk about player safety all the time in the players union. Why would you do that? It's a rule out there, bro. It's a rule. Like, there's a code. Players say, look, everything's a go between them lines. Just don't go for my knees, because I need to use my legs to further my career and to be out here and to be able to practice and tackle and to be out here to feed my family. Just don't try to go for my knees. And trust me, this is coming from a guy who had ACL surgeries, man. It's just like you just don't, like, I had people hit me below the waist. You just don't do that, man. And for him to be like, the statement he issues on behalf of the Ravens it's corny. It's like, oh my goodness. That's one of the reasons is, for me, and I know there's a lot of people out there, there's a weird space with me and the Ravens. And I know there's a lot of people out there that's just like me. With me and the Ravens, it's one of them things where, I fully understand where people come from. There's a segment of our population that have been with the Ravens that went when the Browns left and just went with the Ravens. And I get it. I get it. Because we didn't have no football. Like, I actually rooted for the Ravens for a year. Like, after they left Cleveland. And they had Vinny and they still had Ernest Biner and stuff. And I rooted for them because, like, man, I just didn't have a team. Like, I couldn't even watch football. Like, you growing up in Canton, it's where the Hall of Fame, it's the Hall of Fame city. It's where football was created. It's the Hall of Fame. I can see the Hall of Fame from my bedroom window, and I'm playing high school football, and I don't even got a team to watch. I'm like, bro, this is terrible. But I just have a issue with the Ravens because they just do clown stuff, man. They just do it. And it's the fake tough guy act. Like, you can't live off the legacy of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed forever, bro. You can't do it, man. Hey, Travis Talley, hey, man, I salute you, man. I thank you so much. Go Browns, go McKinley Bulldogs. Thank you so much, my G, for the super chat. I definitely appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody who that did the super chat. Thank you and salute you. Welcome to the Barbershop family, and welcome to the Barbershop Clippers in the VIP section, man. I appreciate you, man. Predictions. Let's get into the predictions really quickly. And the keys to this game. Predictions, keys to the game. Let's start with let's go a little bit and backwards a little bit with this, man. I believe that keys to the game is, I think even the Browns put up a lot of points, right? The Browns put up so many points, right? But I still think in that first half a little bit, I still think they didn't hit him with the sledgehammer hard enough. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? I don't think they hit him with the sledgehammer. And what do I mean by the sledgehammer? That run game is devastating. And you kind of saw it. You kind of saw the Ravens wear down at the end of the game. It was kind of devastating at the end of the game. It's like it hit them. It was like, they was tired. You start to see the pass game work open. You start to see Hollywood just work them open. You start to see Hollywood be open. You start to see Jarvis open. But it all comes from that run game. Pretty soon, you don't want no more. You just don't want another grown man touching you. You don't want Nick Chubb and his heart, just little bowling ball self come in, just silently running through you. And then you get that spark plug, that angry runner with the dreadlocks just coming in, just running through people, right? Kareem Hunt on screens. And listen, it's tough. I think there's a certain amount of touches you got to get them two brothers. I think you got to get them a certain amount. Even if other stuff is working, you got to be like, ooh. See, the pass game is sexy. It's seductive, right? You be like, ooh, that dress is hot. I like that dress. You know, when your woman, your lady put on that sexy draper, ooh, that's hot. That's hot. But if you're going to work out, that ain't practical. That ain't practical. If you going to the gym, or if you going to the mall, sometimes that ain't practical, man. William Wise, man, I appreciate you, man. You be doing your thing, man. I appreciate you so much, man. Thanks for the super chat, man. I want to thank everybody for the super chat. William, thank you. Based on Savansky's presser today, he still said the Browns will play like a desperate team Sunday. And I told you, I guarantee that he's going to play that way. There's nothing inside me that says that. Have you seen the Browns come out anyway but desperate every year, or excuse me, every single game? He ain't came out anyway. The Browns have not come out flat 2 games in a row, or not come back and worked on the things that they did poorly in the first game, right? They haven't done that. So when you see that, I have fully faith in every single thing that he has done so far, and he'll continue to do so. 35 touches, man. Russell Edwards, 35 touches. Yes, indeed. Keep hitting them. Keep hitting them. Keep hitting them. Sometimes they're going to load up on them. Keep hitting them with it. Keep wearing them down. It'll come across. So I think that's key. And the second key to the game, Myles Garrett, keep getting better. I think he slowed down a little bit by COVID. I think we can get that real Myles Garrett. He's about 3 weeks out. I think if we can get him and Olivier Vernon working in tandem, we get Denzel Ward back, I think you'll start to see that pressure. I think you'll start to see them play on that fast track. I think you'll start to see both those guys get to the pass rusher, and I think you'll see him, Denzel Ward be able to lock down one of those sides of the field. And I really think that the Cleveland Browns will come out and look at this game and say, hey, we're going to get back into it. Let's get good. Let's get them good vibes back. And let's get back to that winning feeling. Go to the hotel. Get some of that good food in Manhattan. Stay in them swanky hotels. But we're going to stay socially distanced. We're going to hang out. We're going to post up. And we're going to get ready to get to these Jets and get to this money. Because we need these two. We need them two. And you know who coming up after that. If we can get them two, and we got all the chips lined up, we'll wait for that. We'll wait for that. That's dessert. But just like your mom say, you got to get to these vegetables before you get to that dessert. We got to worry about these vegetables first. And that's in New York. We can't do nothing else but worry about these games in New York. Play by play by play. We had a lot of penalties last game. Ravens had something to do with it. Ravens is a good team. But let's get back to the winning streak. Let's get back to that. Predictions of the game. I want to see the predictions. We got the predictions over there. Let's get the predictions in the chat. We get the Browns predictions. We'll see if we can read as many predictions as we can. I'll finally get mine up. My man says, William Wise, once again, thank you so much, brother. You're so kind for the super chat. The best that has happened is that we have not heard from Jimmy at all. We ain't heard nothing from Jimmy at all. We ain't seen him. At G. Bush, the Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb show, that's what the Browns should show. Let's see what we got. Moose, 38-17 Browns. Corey Robinson, 31-14 Browns. Levon Brock, I got the Browns 27-17. Auto Cash, 31-14 Browns. That's what we got. We're going to do that. We're going to do it up big. And you know what? I'm going to tell you what I got. I got this. We got a couple more coming in. Black Diamond says Browns 31-17. Adam says 28-13 Browns. Jason Hand says 34-17 Browns. Mickey Jr. says Browns 27, Giants 17. Baker 330 and 3 touchdowns. I'll take that. Theon Harris says 52-20 Browns. Big time. J. Lewis Bruce says 35, Giants 17. Mr. Roll Up 10 says 28-10 Browns. And Ben, give me your score, Ben. We'll get that. William Wise 35-17. Mark Kahn says 35-10. Browns beat the Giants. And I'm gonna say this at 8:02. In Cleveland, Ohio, your boy G. Bush, Browns bounce back. Browns bounce back in a big way. Nick Chubb has a good day. Kareem Hunt has a good day. They both get in the end zone. Baker Mayfield is proficient. He gets off the snide. He says no more interceptions. He said, I got 275, 2 touchdowns, and the Cleveland Browns come out here. They go into MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, and they said, listen, let's go ahead and get it done. I got the Browns 38-17 over the New York Giants, of course. And you know what it is. I want to thank everybody on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, on YouTube for checking me out. I want to thank every single person out there for the super chats, and I'm going to thank every single person out there that will watch this on the recap and on the restream. And I want to thank everybody out here who is supporting the barbershop. If you want to check me out, I will be on tomorrow. We got a short little break. I'll be on tomorrow. You can listen to me on 92.3 The Fan. You can watch me tomorrow, 8 a.m. in the morning, sharp. The Clippers, we're going to hear them, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. We're going to get into a little Ohio State. It's championship week, ACC, Notre Dame versus Clemson. We'll preview that. Ohio State versus Northwestern. We'll preview that. We got John Costco, Pro Football Focus. We'll talk a little bit about these games as well. We'll get the grades from last week, and we'll go ahead and cover this as well. Jonathan Peterlin stopped by at 10 o'clock. We'll do that as well. Mike Chico Borman will be in at 11 o'clock. We'll talk to him. And if you miss anything, all you got to do is use the radio.com app. Use the radio.com app to rewind live radio 24 hours. So if you missed the barbershop, just download the radio.com app. You can listen to it anywhere you want to ever. And don't forget, you are listening to this by Restream. You can stream anywhere, right? You can do this anywhere. One more. People still coming in. A little of everything. Thank you so much for the super chat. Cleveland on the rise. You the man, G. Bush. I want to thank you so much, man. We get you in. Thank you for the VIP. You get the Golden Clippers. You know what it is. Right to the front of the line in the barbershop. Appreciate you. If you want to, blog, if you're a blogger, you got to use Restream. You'll be able to blog, reach everybody, 4 platforms at once. It saves your life. Restream is where you need to be at. And TubeBuddy. You got to get TubeBuddy. What are you talking about? If you need to SEO, if you need the title, if you don't know how to do all of that, and you don't have time to know how to get my tube, how to get my videos shown, how to get all my stuff put on, where did I put it at? TubeBuddy helps you out. You monetize all of your videos. It helps you get it out there. Use TubeBuddy, and you can do that as well. As always, it's your boy G Bush. Check me out tomorrow. And as always, go Browns, go Cavs, go Indians, Cleveland over everybody. North Coast, you see it. Peace.